What's up, everyone? Grayson the Dean 221 Nichols here, as always, on the Elite Rounders YouTube channel. And today we got a lot to talk about. Last night was the first episode of the Duel 2, the heads up match between Phil Hellmuth and Daniel Negreanu. Hellmuth's trying to call it the heavyweight championship of the world. Not sure I'm going for that, but this was pretty awesome to watch the two biggest personalities in poker face off. The match was really long, about 6 hours, a lot of slow action, to be quite honest. But before we hop into that, I want to talk about a little something we're doing here at Elite Rounders. We're doing a little giveaway for you guys, right? So this is what you need to do. We're going to be giving away a month of our group coaching, and all you have to do to enter is go ahead and subscribe to here on the YouTube channel, and then follow us on Instagram. Elite Rounders is the account, and then post your Instagram name in the comments here. Once you do that, at the end of the month, we're going to run a little raffle and pick a winner, and the winner will get a free month of group coaching with us. So again, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Elite Rounders on Instagram, and then comment on the video below with your Instagram handle, and we'll enter you into the raffle. So let's get back to the duel. There was some, like I said, it's kind of slow action actually at points. Hellmuth was limping almost every button, very seldom ever raising. Negreanu was kind of playing solid. And I don't know if I should be giving away spoilers for you guys, but let's just say Hellmuth was down to 3,000 chips from his original 100,000 chips at one point. Daniel really grinded him out at the beginning. A lot of weird stuff going on too. Hellmuth was promoting a lot of products, from brain fuel to Sour Patch Kids candy, where he was eating from a 5-pound bag of candy while playing. Just kind of insane stuff. But I guess pretty typical for Mr. White Magic Hellmuth. There is one hand that I really wanted to talk about with you guys. And you can see a clip of the hand here. So this was early on in the match. And like I said, Hellmuth was not raising at all. Okay. He was just playing very passive, very tight, thinking that it's some sort of pot control strategy. However, Daniel just chipped him away the whole time. Like I said, from 100K down to 3K. It was pretty shocking. Excuse me, from 50K down to 3K. And Hellmuth did not budge, you can see at the end, though, that it kind of pays off, right? So one hand that I really want to discuss with you guys that was interesting was when the blinds were early on, 75-150, this hand occurred where Daniel opened on the button to 400 with 8-6 of hearts, a standard raise, and then Hellmuth 3-bet to about 1,500 with ace-8. Now, this is totally fine, heads up. Makes a lot of sense, but it was unusual for Phil because, there's other moments where he had jacks and he would just call in the same spot, right? So he didn't really have much of a 3-bet value range ever. So, I think it's an important thing to note that if you're not 3-betting enough with your value hands and you're only 3-bet bluffing in a spot, you're just going to be disproportionately weighted towards bluffs. And, in a heads-up game against a good player like Daniel, I think you need to have some semblance of balance, right? So back to the hand, Hellmuth 3-bets to 1,500 with ace-8. Daniel calls, standard on both parts so far. Flop is a monster for Daniel. He flops middle pair, backdoor straight draw, and a flush draw, right? Hellmuth goes ahead and c-bets, which I believe is fine. In some universes, his ace-high could be good here. He has the initiative after 3-betting pre-flop. He doesn't 3-bet a lot, so he looks pretty tight. So I like the c-bet. Daniel, of course, calls. Don't really think there's much of a reason to raise, especially when Phil is repping a pretty strong hand at this point. Turns a 9, and there's some things I want to talk about here, right? Decent card for Daniel, gives him the gut shot as well, and obviously Phil picked up the gut shot too. So something I think that the poker population is not great at is, I believe early on we were taught that if you bet flop with nothing and you pick up any semblance of equity on the turn, that you have to barrel again. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think there are times that you do want to do that, right? But it's mainly based on what your opponent's range looks like. So my problem with Phil's barrel on this turn is that what is he trying to make Daniel fold, right? Like, what would Daniel call his 3-bet with pre-flop and then call the bet on the flop with that now folds to this 9 on the turn, right? So let's think about that. Well, if Daniel has a king, he's sure as hell not folding. We know that's a lock, right? If he has a heart draw, he's not folding. And if he doesn't have a king or a heart draw, what are the other types of hands he could have on the flop? Well, it would probably be a 6 or a 5, right? And if you think about it, a lot of the cards that are going to be accompanying his 6 or a 5, especially since he called a 3-bet pre-flop, are going to be things like 5-6 suited, 6-7 suited, 7-8 suited, 8-6 suited, 8-9 suited, right? All of these hands. And the 9 actually helps a number of those, right? It either adds 2-pair, it hits a straight, it adds a gut shot to go with a pair. Either way, the point is, I don't believe Hellmuth is eliciting many folds from Negreanu with this bet. So I'm not sure it really makes a ton of sense, right? Of course, he bets anyway. And Daniel, of course, has an easy call here, right? So the river is the gin card for, I guess, everyone, right? Hellmuth hits his straight, his miracle, after just barreling with basically no equity, and Daniel thinks he's good too. So Hellmuth decides, this is kind of interesting too, and I think this is where Daniel made a mistake also. So Phil bets about 7,600 into a pot of around 15K, like just over half pot, right? And Daniel only calls here, right? I don't like this call from Daniel. The only hand beating him right now is 8-10. What universe is Hellmuth, the guy who has so seldom been three-betting pre-flop with 8-10, barreling flop, barreling turn, right? Like this just doesn't make a ton of sense to me, right? Now, I get also that there are times in poker where we feel like we have the best hand a lot of the time, but there's no value in raising, right? Yeah, kind of the case here, like if there's a lot of hands Phil would probably fold. But to be honest, if Phil did have aces, if he had ace king, and definitely if he had a set of kings, I believe if Daniel put in a small raise here, I think he'd get called for sure, especially because Hellmuth would be really upset, really tilted, and the hearts missed. Anytime a flush draw misses, I believe there is a chance that the opponent can be viewed as bluffing, right? So if there had been no heart draw on the flop, I think Daniel's call is a little bit more reasonable, but seeing as the heart draw missed, and Hellmuth almost never has 8-10 here, and Hellmuth's trying to rep stuff like aces, kings, ace, king, I think Daniel really missed out on a raise in this spot, to be honest. So, interesting hand. I think Phil did not play it well, and I don't think Daniel played it great on the river either, to be honest. The match was about 6 hours. I was able to watch about half of it. I fell asleep eventually. What I saw, Daniel was really outplaying Hellmuth early, but the tail of the tape seems to show that Phil was able to bounce back and really give him a hell of a match. So I'd recommend hopping on Poker Go, checking this out. I believe there's going to be a rematch next week as well for us to talk about. Hopefully Hellmuth won't be eating as much. It was very strange just watching him just chow down on dumplings and candy the whole time while playing. I believe we even have a shot of Hellmuth. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That's the white magic that we're all looking for right there. Just showing the dumplings, the truffle dumplings, and just eating them over the table with no regard for anything. You gotta love it. So I'll also say I did have a bet with one of my students who reached out, and he's a Hellmuth fan, and I could not pass up taking the wager. Again, I don't want to give any spoilers to you guys. I recommend go watching on Poker Go, but I think that we're gonna see a rematch next week, maybe another one after that, and I'm quite excited to see what really comes of this, to be honest. This was a really cool match. And there you go. You can just see Phil just going for it. Like you gotta love this guy, right? So I'm excited to see what they come up with for next week. We're definitely gonna be watching this with a close eye. I'll keep wading through all these hands, trying to find the interesting ones for you guys, so you don't have to sit there and watch for 6 hours as Hellmuth eats, and we can really talk about the good stuff. So. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, don't forget about our giveaway this month for the free month of poker group coaching. Subscribe here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Elite Rounders and post your Instagram name in the comments, and we will enter you in the raffle. And at the end of the month, we'll pick a winner. So if you guys have any thoughts about the hands or Hellmuth and Negreanu in general, please post them below. We love talking about these guys, and Hellmuth's white magic has just always proved me wrong in the past. So, have at it. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys say and can't wait to watch the next episode. So, Best of luck, everyone, this week. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday and Thursday morning for our videos recapping the most recent Poker Go episodes. Take it easy, everyone. Good luck this week. See you guys.